Hi guys, I'm Gina Santos from the SIT 2A BPO. Today guys, I will report or I will explain you about networking. So, what is a networking? Networking is the exchange of information and ideas among people with a common profession or special interest, usually in an informal social setting. Then guys, so what is data communication? Data communication is the exchange of data between two devices via some form of transmission medium. For data communication to occur, the communicating devices must be part of communication system made up of a combination of hardware and software. We have five characteristics of effective communication. First is it used to the transmission medium and language. Second, direct and indirect communication. Direct means happens when speakers through intention are communicated in his or her verbal messages. Then indirect communication is it happens when speakers' true intentions are hidden. So the example of indirect communication is avoid saying no. Then say maybe or possibly even if you mean no. Then direct communication example is it's okay to say no. Then third is mutual understanding. So what is a mutual understanding, guys? So mutual understanding, sympathy of each person for the other, mutual affections. Sympathy, a relationship of affinity or the relation of affinity or harmony between people, whatever affects one corresponding affects the other. Then fourth is continuous process. What is continuous process? Continuous process, it has no beginning and no end. We can consider communication as a product of a previous communication, even that proceeds to another communication situation. Then five is use of words as well as a symbol. Then, what is a data? Data refers to information presented in whatever form is agreed upon by the parties creating and using the data. For example, when result of a particular test is declared, it contains data of all students. When you find the marks you have scored, you have the information that lets you know whether you have passed or failed. And data also is refers to any information which is presented in a form that is agreed and accepted upon by the creators and users. So in data communication, we have the three fundamental characteristics. We have the delivery, accuracy, and timeliness. So what is delivery? Delivery is the data should be delivered to correct destination and correct user. Then second is the accuracy. What is accuracy? Accuracy is the communication system should deliver the data accurately without introducing any errors. The data may get corrupted during transmission, affecting the accuracy of the delivered data. Then third is a timeliness. Timeliness is the audio and video data has been delivered in a timely manner without any delay. Such a delivery is called real-time transmission of data. In data communication also, we have five components. First is message. What is a message? Message is the information be communicated by the sender to receiver. Then second is a sender. The sender is any device that is capable of sending the data or message. Then third is receiver. The receiver is device that the sender wants to communicate the data or the message. Then fourth is transmission. Transmission medium. Transmission medium, it is a path by which the message travels from sender to receiver. It can be wired or wireless and many subtypes in both. Last is protocol. Protocol, it is an agreed upon set of rules used by the sender and receiver to communicate data. Protocol is a necessity in data communication without which the communicating entities are like two persons trying to talk each other in a different languages without know the languages. And what is data representation? Data is collection raw facts which is processed to deduce information. There may be different from it from in which data may be represented. Some of the forms of data used in communications are as follows. First is text. Text is includes combination of alphabets in small case as well as uppercase. It is stored as a pattern of bits. Prevalent encoding system ASCII or Unicode. The acronym of ASCII is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. For example, the ASCII code for uppercase M is 77. Then acronym of Unicode is Universal Character Encoding or the Universal Trunk Out of Service Code. Then IOS, the acronym is International Organization for Standardization, is an international standard setting body composed of representatives from various national standards organizations. Then second is numbers. What is numbers? Numbers are also represented by bit patterns. However, a code such as ASCII is not used to represent numbers. The number is directly converted to a binary number to simplify mathematical operations. Third is images. What is images? Images are also represented by bit patterns in its simplest form. An image is composed of matrix and pixels, where each pixel is a small dot. The size of the pixel depends on the resolution. For example, an image can be divided into 1,000 pixels or 10,000 pixels. Then fourth is audio. What is a audio? Audio refers to recording or broadcasting of sounds of music. Audio is by nature different from text, numbers, or images. It is continuous, not discrete. Even when we use a microphone to change voice or music to an electric signal, we create a continuous signal. Example, what we hear on the radio is a source of data or information. Then last is video. What is a video? Video refers to broadcasting of data in forms of picture or movie. Video can either be produced as a continuous entity. Example is a TV camera, or it can be a combination of images, each a discrete entity arranged to convey the idea of motion. In data flow, we have G. Phrase is simplex. What is a simplex, guys? Simplex is this a type of transmission mode data can be sent only in one direction. Communication is unidirectional. We cannot send a message back to the sender. Unidirectional communication is done in simplex systems where we just need to send a command or a signal and do not expect any response back. Examples. Examples of simplex mode are loudspeakers, television broadcasting, television and remote, keyboard and monitor, and etc. Then second is half duplex mode. Means that data can be transmitted in both directions on a signal carrier, but not at the same time. For example, on a local area network using a technology that has half duplex transmission, one workstation can send data on the line and then immediately receive data on the line from the same direction in which data was just transmitted. Third is full duplex mode. What is a full duplex mode? We can send data in both the directions as it is bidirectional at the same time. In other words, data can be sent in both directions simultaneously. Example is the telephone network in which there is communication between the two persons by a telephone line with which both can talk and listen at the same time. Networking criteria is first is performance. What is performance? Performance can be measured in many ways, including transmit time and response time. Performance is measured of various factors such as the amount of time requires for messages to travel from one devices to another, the time it requires to get a response starting from an inquiry. Performance of a network, however, also depends on a number of factors such as number of active users, types of transmission, medium, capabilities of the connection hardware, and efficiency of the software, and etc. Next, guys, is what is reliability? Reliability, it is a measure by frequency of failure, the time it takes a link or recovered from a failure, and the network's robustness. Network is reliability is measured by the frequency of failure, time it takes to recover from failure, the network's robustness. Then third is security. What is security? The security issues include protecting data from unauthorized access and virus. Network must be secured. The data that is sent should reach its destination safely without any third party reading or altering or destroying the data in the midway. We have a characteristic of a network. Network is categorized with the following factors. First is size, second ownership, third distance it covers, then physical architecture. Three categories. First is local area network or LAN. What is local area network? Local area network is a group of computers that are connected in a small area such as building, home, etc. Through this type of network, users can easily communicate with each other by sending and receiving messages. LAN is generally used for connecting two or more personal computers through some medium such as twisted pair, coaxial cable, etc. Through the number of computers connected in LAN is limited, the data is transferred at an extremely faster rate. Then second is Metropolitan Area Network or MAN. MAN is a network of computers that covers a large area like city. The size of a MAN generally lies between LAN and WAN, typically covering a distance of 5 km or 50 kilometer. The geographical area convert by man is comparat- comparatively larger than land, but smaller than one. One of the common example of MAN or the metropolitan area network is cable television network within a city. A network device known as router is used to connect the LAN together. The router directs the information packets to the desired destination. Then third is wide area network are WAN. Is a group of computers that are connected in a large area such as continent, country, or etc. One is generally used for connecting two or more LANs through some medium such as lists, telephone lines, microwaves, etc. In one, data is transferred at a slowly rate. Here's the categories of LAN, MAN, and WAN. The size of LAN is building or a campus. The ownership is privately owned by the distance of few kilometers, and the physical architecture is bus, star, and ring. The example is laboratory network. The man size is in the city. The ownership is a public company. The distance is extend over entire city, and the physical architecture is LAN to LAN. Then the example of MAN is cable network. Then last is WAN. The size of WAN is a globe. The ownership is private or a public. Then the physical architecture is man to man. And the example of that is internet. Next guys, what is network? Network is a nothing but a connection made through a connection link between two or more devices. Devices can be a computer, printer, or any other device that is capable to send and receive data. In mid-1960s, standard alone devices. The ARPA or the Advanced Research Project Agency is an agency of the United States Department of Defense. ARPA underwrote development. The United or the for the precursor of the internet known as ARPANET. The DoD or the Department of Defense is an executive branch department of the federal government charged with coordinating and supervising all agencies and functions of the government directly related to national security and the United States Armed Forces. In 1969, October 29, a Stanford Research Institute or the SRI and one at the University of California, Los Angeles or UCLA. The United States were connected in the first network through two-use packet switching. The U.S. Department's Advanced Research Project Agency Network or ARPANET. They were equivalent to the first two hosts on what would become Internet. By December 1969, ARPANET contained four nodes: the Stanford, UCLA, the University of Utah, and the University of California, Santa Barbara. Then next guys is in 1972, Robert E. Kahn, the co-inventor of TCP or the IP, gave the first public demonstration of ARPANET. The social implication of this field area matter of widespread interest. The research social in almost all walks of life, said of Mr. Khan in introducing the computer communication network. Shortly thereafter, TCP, TCP higher level function. We have the resembility. Data blocks are of bounded size at each layer. Application layer messages may be large, network packets may be smaller. Second is segmentation. Segmentation is splitting larger blocks into smaller ones in segmentation. Then third is error detection. Detection. Error detection, sender insert errors detecting bits, receiver checks these bits. If okay, acknowledge. If error, discharge packet. IP handle datagram. IP handle datagram is a basic transfer unit associated with a packet switches network. Datagrams are typically structured in header and payload sections. Datagrams also provide a connectionless communication service across a packet switches networks. Then, what is TCP or IP? Internet protocol today is the principal communication protocol is the Internet protocol suite for relaying datagrams across network boundaries. IP was the connectionless datagram service in the original transmission control program introduced by Vin Cerf and Bob Kahn in 1974, which was complemented by connection-oriented service that became the basis for the Transmission Control Protocol or the TCP. Then next is physical topology. Physical topology refers to the interconnected structure of a local area network or the LAN. The method employed to connect the physical devices on the network with the cables and the type of cabling used all constitute the physical topology. For example, twisted pair Ethernet is logical bus topology that is mapped to the physical star topology plan, while ABM's token ring is a logical ring to topology that is typically implemented as a star topology. We have the categories of topology. We have the mesh. What is the mesh topology? Mesh topology, it is point-to-point connection to other nodes or devices. All the network's nodes are connected to each other. There are two techniques to transmit data over the mesh. They are router and flooding. So what is routing in mesh topology? Routing, the nodes have a routing logic as per the network requirements, like a routing logic to direct the data to reach the destination using the shortest distance. Then flooding in mesh topology is the same data is transmitted to all the network nodes, hence no routing is required. Then second is bus topology. The bus topology is a network type is which every computer and network devices is connected to single cable when it has exactly two endpoints. Third is star topology. Star topology means it is type of topology all the computers are connected to a single hub through a cable. This hub is central node and all others nodes are connected to the central node. Then fourth is a ring. ring topology. It is called ring topology because it forms of ring, as each computer is connected to other computer with the last one connected to the first. Exactly two neighbors for each devices. Then last, the mesh topology advantages are point-to-point link, robust, robust and privacy or security. Then we have the disadvantages of mesh topology. We have the expensive in cable and one of or zero connection and sheer lack of wiring. And the future of mesh topology is n negative 1 or n is 1 in connections. Then we have also the advantages of bus topology. We have the less expensive than mesh and ease of installation. Then the disadvantages of bus topology is difficult reconnection, difficult to add station, and limited number of station. Then we have the feature of the bus topology is the backbone cable. Then we have the advantages of star topology. Point-to-point link, robust and less expensive than mesh. Then we have the disadvantages. The advantages is using central devices or device, and the future is hub. Then the advantages of ring topology is point-to-point link to both sides only and easy to install and configure. Then the disadvantages is unidirectional traffic of a signal. And the future is repeater. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for listening and watching. Keep safe and God bless all.